And if you all just get the positivity together, guys, we will advance out of Game 6 in Detroit. Tiki, do you follow Positive Evie?
I mean, hope and dreams don't mean guys are going to play well. Hope and belief and positive Evie, why not Evan? Positive Evie
Why?
doesn't mean Tom Thibodeau is going to put the right combination of players on the court or call the right offensive plays so that maybe he runs some pick and rolls with the big guys, or maybe put two bigs on the court for once in the series or twice in the series. Right? I think the positivity is positively negative.
Why?
Because
they won 51 games.
This team feels so flawed lately. It feels so incomplete. It feels so non-congruent. I used that word yesterday, and I like it. No one feels like they're on the same page. And I'm talking players and players and players and coaches. And so you can believe that the Knicks are going to win. By the way, I believe the Knicks are going to win this series. I predicted Knicks in 6 before the series started. I still believe that's going to happen, but it's not going to make me feel better about the Knicks. It's not going to make me feel like, all of a sudden they can make a run and maybe surprise the Boston Celtics.
Hold on.
Before this Pistons series,
yes,
there were Knicks fans who believed we were going to get right, flip the switch, handle the Pistons, even if it takes 5 and it's a gentleman's sweep. We're going to do it. We're going to get to Boston, and we're going to find a way to conquer the demon. And now there's not a Knicks fan you can find that still believes that that's the case.
They're dudes. Positive Evie has said nothing about the Boston Celtics. Positive Evie is here for one day only, and that is closing out the Pistons.
So that means you're trolling.
No, I'm not trolling. I'm talking about tonight. Like, I'm not talking about Saturday. I'm not talking about Monday in Boston. I'm not talking about a fantasy Eastern Conference Finals against Cleveland. I'm talking about tonight. Because simply I ask the Knicks fan, I'm talking about one night. Knicks fans, are you winning tonight? Knicks fans, are you closing the door tonight? Because if you don't close the door tonight, we enter territory that we're not used to.
Right.
And that is playing a 7th game at home after having a 3-1 lead. This is a franchise that has blown one 3-1 lead in its history, and we all know it's got an asterisk next to it.
Right.
We all do. That was the whole kerfuffle. I'm going to use that word a few times today. That was a real brawl, like a man's brawl. Obviously, the Knicks Heat series from 1997, where guys came off the bench, and you had multiple suspensions that affected them in Game 6 and Game 7. So we all know that 3-1 blown lead features at least an asterisk next to it.
Right.
I'm not talking about anything other than tonight. And I do believe, not to troll, not to just steal Tommy's bit, though that's kind of fun. I do actually believe that despite all the negativity you have, and a lot of it is fair, I think tonight you close them out. Because I think sometimes through the negativity, we forget what this team is capable of doing.
It's easy. It's easier said than done, I think. I think it's easy to say, the Knicks are going to close them out tonight. And they're going to take care of business.
Yes.
But do you actually believe that they're going to do it?
Yes, I do.
I thought they were doing it in Game 5.
I did too.
They had every reason, every opportunity at home to just run away with this series and beat the Pistons and put them back in their developmental mindset. Mm-hmm. We know that what they actually are. But they played, I don't know, they didn't play great.
But that was 2 days ago. What does that have to do with tonight?
Because what I just saw.
Every game.
In every game, it feels like this Knicks team, who is better than this Pistons team, we know that they are, played down to their opponent, and that's not a good thing.
Every game is a different story. This is a Knicks team that used a 21-0 run to turn Game 1 eventually into a romp. This is a Knicks team who, in a hostile environment in Game 3, after what was a bad Game 2 loss, played their most complete game in the postseason. Karl Anthony Towns responded on the Detroit Pistons floor at Little Caesars Arena.
Right.
Remember when, maybe not you, but we all doubted his toughness after he was basically hiding in the corner in Game 2? So I have every reason to believe for this one game, for this one night, that they will respond. And I go back to the king. I go back to Jalen Brunson. Look, we all know Jalen Brunson did not play his best game in Game 5. In fact, it was his worst game.
Right.
Probably his worst postseason performance we've seen. That's not happening again. And you know what else isn't happening again? Tom Thibodeau isn't going to be caught with his pants down again where Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart can't get on the floor in the final 2 minutes of the game. It's not happening again. I also saw OG Anunoby. I know it gets forgotten because, well, the Knicks lost, but OG Anunoby played a very complete game number 5. His defense has been outstanding. And quite frankly, Cade Cunningham hasn't gone off yet.
Right.
Like, I haven't seen Cade Cunningham dominate a series the way a young superstar can. I have every reason to believe, despite all the negativity, despite some Knicks fans looking ahead to the Boston series or looking ahead to the offseason, it's not about the offseason tonight. It's not about Boston tonight. It's about avoiding a disaster of having to play a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden because no one wants it. Like, I know Tommy's excited about the idea of going to a Game 7. He doesn't want a Game 7. That will be the most tense Madison Square Garden has ever been, or at least the most tense it's been in 2 decades with this franchise. No one wants it.
No
one wants to go down the road of the Knicks flirting with blowing a 3-1 lead to the Pistons. And the way to avoid that is to walk into the Little Caesars Arena tonight against a team you're better than, and I believe they are, and most people believe they are, and reminding us that they do have a toughness that sometimes we forget about. And I get why the negativity is out there. I understand it. I'm here to tell you it ain't going to happen tonight.
Right.
I'm here to remind you that I will lead you. So, Tommy, get behind me.
Dogs.
Positive Ebony is here for you.
Fine speech.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I worked on it all night last night.
Number 1, you're a schmuck. Number 2,
What?
you see it in my eyes. I told you last week that this team is day to day. And what I saw in that last game gives me great pause. Now, I do believe all the pressure in the world is on the Pistons tonight, and all the pressure in the world will be on the Knicks in Game 7. So I do agree with you. This is the night to close it out. But there's a crack in the foundation. There is.
What?
Because this team, every time you want to put your hopes and dreams in their lap, they basically spit in your face and they give you a nothing performance. And you bring up Brunson, and look, he could drop 40 tonight, absolutely. But I told you in Game 1, I think he's hurt. I think he's shown you that every single game. And I worry if attrition is rearing its ugly head again, and I worry if he can hold up for the next couple of games. I even worry if he can hold up tonight. He's come out of every single game.
Oh, my God. You're dead. You died.
No, that's not true.
Tommy's
They're
dead.
day to day. I'm not dead. I'm unkillable.
Did you just hear his voice?
I did.
He's basically given up.
Why are you quitting?
I'm not quitting. I've never once quit, but I'm pointing out reasons for, let's call it, cautious optimism. That's what I am
I
right
didn't
now.
hear any optimism in anything you
Yeah, I
just
told
said.
you all the pressure was on the Pistons tonight. It's a young team, and it's not a closeout game for them, but it will feel like that when they get there, and it's Jared Goff, and it's Dan Campbell, and anybody else, somebody they could find that's not really played on the Pistons, like Jalen Rose. I don't know why he's there. I know he's from Detroit, but he didn't play on the Pistons. They will feel that pressure of, man, we could force a Game 7, and that's where you could see a young team, much like in Game 1, crack under that pressure. But you're smiling, but you know what I'm speaking is truth. You just are smiling that it's coming out of my mouth.
No, you're scared. That's
I'm
what
not scared.
I heard.
I'm not scared at all.
This is everything you just said is why Positive Evie has to debut today. And it's a one-night only thing. Right? This is Positive Evie's dead after tonight. I tell you that right now. He's going to be killed. I mean, this is a one-day thing. But I hear it in your voice. I mean, your positivity is dead. You don't even believe in the King anymore. You don't even believe in Jalen Brunson
I think he's
anymore.
hurt. And I think he showed you that.
Oh, I
in
mean,
last
everybody feels like they're hurt. That's the problem.
Well, at this point in the NBA season, it's May 1st. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's banged up. Look at the Celtics.
Everybody's not. I mean, well, the Celtics are different because I think they're.
Everybody's hurt. Jason Tatum's banged up. Jalen Brown's
I
banged
think
up.
they're marginally hurt, and they're just kind of chilling because they can and still beat the Orlando Magic.
Yes.
It's different than what the Knicks are going through, where Jalen Brunson's got an ankle injury and where Josh Hart has a wrist injury.
But Jalen Brunson's only one game removed from reminding you who he is. Like, we forget that. He had an off Game 5. Absolutely.
Right.
And it didn't help. What really didn't help is we never got to even see him in the final few minutes of the game because he was stuck at the scorer's table.
Right.
So how do we know what Jalen Brunson would have done in those final 2 minutes with 2 or 3 shots that instead went to Campaign and Mikal Bridges? We didn't see it.
No, I know.
So I get that he's banged up, and it sucks that the Madison Square Garden floor had something to do with that. But if you ask me going into Game 6 tonight what I'm confident about, one of the things I'm really confident about is that Jalen Brunson is going to give you that superstar, clutch fourth quarter kind of effort. It's something we've seen throughout his Knicks career, and it's something that despite the ankle issue, I think we're going to see tonight. And I still believe that's the difference because Cade Cunningham's a really nice, good young player. And at times he gets into a rhythm going downhill, getting contact, getting to the line. But he doesn't take over a game. the way Jalen Brunson has. And that's the difference in another closeout opportunity. The Knicks have a guy on the floor that can take over. I haven't seen Kane Cunningham take over a game in this postseason, and I don't believe that's going to change.
He's not that guy yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Eventually he's going to be, but he's not that guy yet.
So instead of, because what I heard from you, Teak, and you, Tommy, is, well, Jalen's hurt. Okay, he's hurt. I think he drops 40 tonight. Are you telling me he's going to give you another 4 for 16 from the field? Is that what you guys are saying?
I would lean more towards the 40 points, but I can't sit here and confidently say, yeah, he's definitely going to do that because he's injured.
I can. Jalen Brunson is injured. And to quote your head coach, he'll put the cape on tonight and give you that superstar performance. And you know why he will? Sean may not like this, because he's the king. And that's what kings do. And that's what he has done as a superstar player in this town. He will save you tonight. I firmly believe that. And now, I was wrong. I thought they'd win in 5. But I, for the life of me, cannot see us sweating out a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden. And remember, this Knicks team did this last year.
Why can you not? This is where it becomes
Because last year,
is where it becomes trouble.
He didn't see a Game 6 either, and yet here we are.
Because last year, with a 3-1 lead in a closeout game at Madison Square Garden, the Knicks collapsed, right? They blew a Game 5 in epic fashion. And they responded in Philadelphia 2 days later against a Sixers team with more playoff experience and, quite frankly, a Sixers team that was better. Yes.
I don't know.
Well, I disagree.
I think that was a Sixers team that was a little fugazi.
The only thing tougher about this Piston team than that Sixer team is Tobias Harris is actually, better.
You know what, Evan? I'm glad you brought up that series because, to me, this is that series last year against Philly is this series, but in reverse. We're the Sixers. I think that it is creeping in the players' heads that, oh, boy, we have no shot against Boston, and you have a Detroit team that's spunkier that maybe wants it a little bit more. That's just what's creeping in my brain. I hope I'm wrong. I'm not sitting here saying that that's going to happen, but I'm going to be honest with you. That's what's going through my head right now.
I don't think positive Evie is working.
No, it's not even about me anymore. You're more broken than I thought you were. Because now we've got Tommy comparing the dudes and dogs to the fraud 76ers. That's where we are less than a year later. That they're Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers?
Well, I mean, they should have closed this series out. So it's easy to see why Knicks fans are going that way. Like they're falling down in this hole because they don't believe it. You got to show it. You got to prove it to make us believe it. And they haven't done it yet. And I know it was really only one game because Game 4 was a great win in Detroit, but Game 5 should have ended.
So Game 5 killed your confidence, all of you.
Of course it did.
Jeez.
And it killed your confidence in every way.
But it's a best-of-7 series. You're letting that game just crush your soul?
So a game where you need to just go dominate. Jalen Brunson has his worst game. Cat has his worst game. Mikal Bridges didn't play great, and Tom Thibodeau was terrible. So, what, you going to feel positive after that?
Wow.
How do you feel positive after that?
I've never... Since the tanking days, I have never encountered a more broken fan base than the Knicks fan base right now. I tried. I'm trying my hardest to talk you guys back up into why you're going to close this team out tonight. And all I'm getting from you, Teak, and from you, Tommy, is, we suck. We're dead. We're not tough. We're the 76ers. Sean, you got to be stunned by this, too.
I can't believe that this is where we're at. I believe in the Knicks tonight like you, Evan.
Thank you.
I can't imagine a Game 7 when you lead a Series 3 when you have the King of New York. You make that trade. Evan, I don't know. I close my eyes and I picture Aaron Judge hitting a grand slam and chants of let's go Knicks as Mikal Bridges is traded. And Knicks fans, that confidence that ooze. Then the trade for Karl Anthony Towns. That confidence that continued to ooze. It's all right. You know what? We understand we're not better than Boston. These are the measly Pistons, guys. You guys were already one
You're like a real net fan.
No.
They're a better basketball team than you and Evan want to give them credit for.
The Jalen Brunson injury is nothing new. Something they've been dealing with. They still have figured out a way to win 3 games, throughout this series like this. You're asking for one more gutsy effort to get you across the finish line. Doesn't have to be in blowout fashion. These are the Pistons. They haven't been here before. This isn't their gut check moment yet.
Which I laid out before.
I think also the other thing that matters for Knicks fans is it feels like, all right, so we get through. Then what? We get swept?
But you can't think about that yet.
I get your point,
Teak. I totally get your point, and I know that tomorrow may be that uncomfortable conversation, right? If the Knicks win tonight, which I expect them to do, it's a weird transition from, hey, we advance, that's cool, 3rd straight year in the 2nd round, morphing right into we can't compete with Boston. And I get what you're saying, and what I would tell you, Teak, is don't worry about that till Monday.
Enjoy the ride while you have it.
Yeah, and you know why that's important to do? See, you can mock me for being a Net fan, but I also bring perspective that you guys forgot about. Being in the postseason with a 3-2 lead is kind of special.
Right.
And you guys better than anyone should know that. Because how many times in the last 20 years have you been in this position? It's been recent, but before that it was non-existent. And so now, I don't know what happened over these 2 years. You've become so freaking jaded that your answer, Teak, if you represent a lot of Knicks fans in saying so, which is, yeah, we may win tonight, but, geez, Boston's going to wipe us anyway.
But
get there first.
Okay, but the reason that Knicks fan feels that way is because of how they played against the Detroit Pistons. It's how the ineptness at moments in this series shows you that you're just not ready to be where you are. They're just not.
But you're overthinking it.
I'm not overthinking
You are.
it.
You're not wrong with what you're saying, but you're win the series. Advance. It's special. And the Knicks are in position to do that tonight. Instead of overanalyzing, well, we didn't win game 1 by enough. We didn't win game 3 by enough. Who cares?
It's special because when they get to the second round and get knocked out again, then you and Sean and all the coalition of Knick haters
don't worry about that.
Are just going to say, well, you just hit your ceiling anyways.
Listen, don't worry about the haters. Worry about what's in front of you. And what's in front of you tonight, Knicks fans.
It's hard.
Well,
it's hard.
Focus. I'm here to help you. Focus on tonight. You're a win away from going to the second round of the playoffs. So I ask you politely, listen to Tiki, listen to Tommy, but truly listen to Positive Evie. Because tonight is your night, bro.
Nobody trusts Positive Evie.
Well, you know what? At the end of the night, I'll be laughing. Actually, I won't be laughing, but I'll be right.
Exactly.
We'll get to your calls coming up, 888-808-1019. Plus, there was a 2-minute report from Game 5.
That was a Freudian slip, by the way.
Was it? There was a 2-minute report from Game 5, and what if I told you there was one missed call, and the missed call simultaneously helped and screwed the Knicks all at the same time? We'll explain coming up. We'll talk to former NFL quarterback Alex Smith in about an hour. We're live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.